for sitting right here, and ladies and gentlemen. I'd like just to go through Edilson and make a presentation just as a remembrance of what has already happened. I think this is something that most of you would like to know exactly what went on. So, as you see, my outline, in fact, is very short, so I'll go briefly on production, evolution of the system, some facts that I'd like to share with you, and track forecast errors. Okay, Edilson, you will remember, was named on the 5th of February at 4 in the morning. And then the system, in fact, intensified and became a severe tropical storm on the following day. You will also remember that Edilson passed about 70 kilometers to the southeast, in fact, of the coast of Mauritius. And despite itself, Edilson became famous. And that's why we thought that it would be a good thing to talk about Edilson again. This is satellite imagery of the 3rd of February, and you will see in this area the monsoon trough, a number of cloud clusters, in fact, and one of these clusters was predicted to become to intensify further, actually associated with a marked low pressure that was to intensify and become a tropical depression. And what is interesting is that the Met Office proactively took the decision to warn the population of what was going to happen, because we were also expecting that the system would intensify rapidly. And in fact, this is what happened. And this is you see here the picture of the 4th of February, that is on the following day, and the system intensifying and becoming a tropical depression. And on that same day, in fact, the Met Services issued a class 1 warning. You will see that at this stage, that is on the 4th of February, the system was still a tropical depression. And because we were expecting the system to intensify, again, very proactively, the Met Services of warning the population of what is going to happen. And the system was in fact moving south, teenager or southerly direction. And on the 5th of February, right on the 5th of February at 4 in the morning, the system was named Edilson. And just to hear en parenthèse, Edilson is a male name from the Mozambique. So here the system was named, and the MMS maintained a class 1 warning. And as the system was moving southward, and looking at the data that we had at that moment, there was also an indication of the cloud bands to affect earthquake. And also looking at the characteristic of the depression, which was very important, we also could foresee that earthquake was also going to have some strong wind as well. And therefore, the Met Services issued a class 1 for earthquake as well. And as the system continued to move southward, at 1 p.m., the warning was upgraded to a class 2 warning. And the way that we were looking at things at that moment, and because of the warning system already exists, you see that most of the things that existed at this moment, actually we have to sort of rethink of the term is to re-engineer certain things as to warn the population, because in our eyes the safety of the population was more important. And so in the class 2 warning which was issued at 1, we already say that Met Services is considered to issue a class 3 in the early evening. And this is what was done, in fact, at 16:30, 4:30 p.m. in fact, we have to issue a class 3 warning, considering the southerly movement, and also the intensification of the system. And then on the third day, in fact, on the 6th of February at 13:30 hours, 1:30 p.m., in fact, we had to remove all warnings for this wave. And we know that the system passed at about 70 kilometers off the southeast coast of Mauritius. This is a graph of Edilson, and these are some of the data that I just want to share with you. This rainfall that we had associated with Edilson, and these are some of the wind speed actually recorded, the pressure at St. Brandon, the pressure at Plaisance. Now, this is what, in fact, I wanted to talk to you. I have sort of tried to write it there, I did not say it as well. But I have written it so that you can as well read it. Edilson was different. In fact, each system, each stone that falls in any tropical cyclone basin has its own peculiarity, right? But Edilson was different in many other ways as well. Edilson was formed in the monsoon trough. And then looking at this pattern, this distribution of the wind, right, was classified as a monsoon depression, or it had a monsoon depression structure. I know that many people have been asking, monsoon depression is the first time that the Met Services is using this term. No, it's not. In fact, monsoon depression has existed always. But then, studies have also been done, and many studies have been done. Just to give you a brief stats, between 2000 and up to now, I have counted 8 tropical monsoon depression evolving in the southwest Indian Ocean. So this was not new. It's just that the way of communicating the message. Right? So we thought that it was best to tell the truth on everything that is happening, and this is what we did. Looking at the wind distribution and all that. And also, you will note that this again is not new. Studies have been done that near the center of a monsoon depression, the wind is weak. But as you progress outward, right, the wind becomes strong. And this was the reasoning to put a crossword warning over the rain. And this was also the reasoning that we consider strongly gave lot of weight as the system was approaching to issue warnings from Mauritius. But then something else was happening as well. As the system crossed the latitude of Brandon, and as it approached Mauritius, the system was changing its structure as well. And you will see, that's why I mentioned to you that in fact it became a severe tropical storm on the 6th, I believe, or right late on the 5th, when just before we were issuing the class 3 warning. The next thing that is also observed is usually with monsoon depression, you have huge amount of rain that is associated with this. But then what happened with this one is as it was approaching Mauritius, right, it was also changing its structure, which made, in fact, sort of very difficult to monitor and also to forecast exactly what was going on. And I can say that now, looking hindsight, that the Met Office did a marvelous job here. This is the asset, and I'm very sorry that you're not able to see it, but if you could see it very more closely, you would have seen that the center of Edilson was somewhere here. Near the center, the wind was in fact weak, but then as you progress outward, we had 45 knots wind, right, especially to the east. And I tried to look at the wind and pressure relationship of this system. This graph, in fact, was done by my colleague Vimal here, and you could see that, in fact, when looking at the pressure, when Edilson was almost very close to St. Brandon, in fact, since St. Brandon didn't get the maximum wind as it should do in a classical type of storm, very classical type of depression. But then as the cyclone moved away, as shown by the rising pressure of the center, you will see that the wind at St. Brandon increased as well. This is the trim image, just showing that as it was only a monsoon depression, it is still in the vicinity of St. Brandon, you can see the amount of rainfall that was associated with it, right? But then I told you, as the system was approaching, it also changed its structure. This is the image of the 6th of February. You can see Mauritius is somewhere here, right? At this moment, Mauritius was still on a cyclone 1 class 3. This image, in fact, is frightening. But then also what was happening was a change of structure going on again. I'd like to show you another picture of the radar. This is a radar of the 6th of February. In fact, at this moment the cyclone was passing just over 70 kilometers off the eastern coast, and you can see the active cloud bands. Now, in these cloud bands, in fact, there were rains of the order of 175 millimeters, right? And it just touched Mauritius. I mean, you have to be a magician to tell that it's not going to come over Mauritius. But we are not magicians, we are meteorologists. And we have to tell people that the danger was there. Threat was there, the risk was there, and also strong winds was in there. Again, we have to tell people. It just touched Mauritius, and I must say, providentially, we were spared, and I must say that, in fact, we did a wonderful job. These are some of the track forecasts that I also wanted to share with you. You'll see that, in fact, each model one gives a different track and all that. But it is very important because why the general concept is that, okay, everything is greener abroad. Everyone outside Mauritius is doing better, is it? You will see that I have the track from Guam, from ECMWF, from UKMO and all that. I mean, no one agrees. And you will see quite a huge flume of the trajectory and all that. Here you see the forecast track errors from Iranian. And when you look at the forecast track error for 24 hours, even up to now, the error is 80 to 100 kilometers. If you consider the size of Mauritius, which is about 40 kilometers, 45 kilometers, if you make an error of 100 kilometers, say, the lower limit 80 kilometers, you just miss Mauritius. You just miss Mauritius. And that's why, if you consider what the Met Office said, I think that was excellent. The forecast track for T plus 48, 2 days forecast, it's about 200 kilometers. And for H plus 72 3-day forecast error is almost 280 to 300 kilometers. Just to give you an idea of the uncertainty involved in forecasting, in doing track forecast. I think I'm going to leave you here in just to, I think now you know, I know you have a better understanding of when you're looking at systems like this and how to deal with them and how to forecast. But our job was to first